Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is David, and in this video we'll be sharing with you on some of the pointers or rather my experience and some of the information that I have gathered to share with you guys on what you require when you are traveling to Singapore. So I think right now traveling to Singapore, it's not that easy as how it was before COVID, right? And traveling all around the world has actually started to happen in different countries. But every time when people are traveling to a different country, they're always worried about what are the rules now? Are they allowed to travel to that particular country, or do they have to follow a certain instructions when they reach that country? So in this video, I'll be sharing with you on some of the important points that you need to take note when you travel to Singapore. Of course, that is going to be according to what I know, and I've tried my best to gather some of the information, and I'm going to be sharing all that information with you right here in this video. So let's get started. And before we start, I just want to ask you guys if you're able to go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and of course don't forget to press the notification button so that every single video, my new videos, when it comes out, you'll be the first to know. So let's get started, guys. First thing first. So what is the first important thing that you need to know when you're traveling to Singapore? So before you travel to Singapore, you need to know if your country falls under the list that are open for travel to Singapore. So of course there are a list of countries here in Singapore that are allowed to travel here. What I will do is that I will share the link below for you to find out if your country falls in that category. Next thing you need to know is that before you travel, you need to also know that if your vaccine that is recognized by WHO, because it is very important for you to know that the vaccine that you have taken is recognized by World Health Organization. So what I'll do is, again, I will leave the link below for you to find out that whether your vaccine that you have taken in your country is recognized here in Singapore. The next thing you need to know is that before you come to Singapore, you need to find out if you are eligible to travel to Singapore, because a lot of countries there are still certain restrictions when you're traveling to Singapore. So I have, of course, once again I'm going to leave the link below for you to find out whether your country falls in the category of the countries that are allowed to travel here in Singapore. In fact, I will also share a very interesting link with you guys that is basically called the self-help tool to help you find out whether you are eligible to travel to Singapore. So I think that is really interesting. I mean, if you go to their website, it's called Safe Travel by ICA. That is a website which is amazing website. It is so much information for you guys to basically get, when you're traveling to Singapore. Another thing, once you have sorted out the vaccine part, I think the next thing that you need to know is that you need to find out the visa requirement, right? Of course, so the various ways to do that is that number one, you could go to your traditional way, which is by going to your local travel company and find out whether you're able to get the visa to Singapore, right? That's number one. The next option that you could look for is that you could even go to the ICA website. ICA basically in Singapore, what it means is that Immigration Checkpoint Authority, to apply for a visa directly there. I will leave the link for you guys there below in the description section. And then now, the next thing that you need to know is that for those countries that do not require any kind of visa to travel to Singapore, you can actually check out this special arrangement that is done by ICA, is Vaccinated travel lane. So this is a new travel lane that they have actually opened for travelers from all around the world, especially for those countries that do not require a particular visa to come and stay here in Singapore. Of course, there's a lot of ways for Singapore citizens to come back to Singapore. There's no need for vaccinated travel lane, of course, but it mainly applies for those who require visa or do not require a visa, but you are not a Singaporean, you're not a PR, you're not a long-term visit pass. Then for everything else, you need to go and check out the rules and regulations before you travel to Singapore. Next thing you need to find out is this: once the visa is sorted, I think then you will need to find out when you are traveling to Singapore, you will have, whether you will have to do a SHN. I think in short of stay home notice. You have to find out. You have to know whether you have to do an SHN before you come to Singapore. And what I'll do is that I will leave in the description below, I'll leave a video for you to find out more about what SHN is. And when you reach Singapore, there is a possibility that you may have to do the SHN, and of course the regulation for SHN is also quite different. So I think what you will do is you will find out when you land whether you are applicable or whether you're allowed to do SHN and where you have to do your SHN. Just follow, it's very simple, just follow their guideline. They will update you. I think when you're applying for a visa, I think they will update you whether you require to do an SHN when you're coming to Singapore. I think this is something what I'm trying to share with you. I think, of course, I do not have all the information, but I was able to gather some information that could be very useful, and that would help you understand on what are the things that you need to know when you come and travel to Singapore. I think another important thing that I want to share with you is once you travel to Singapore, once you have landed here, you're sorted, you've completed your SHN, then there are a few things that you also need to know. You have to also make sure that your phone, you have installed one particular application. I mean, it's an app which is available on Apple Store. It's also available on Samsung Google Store. You're able to download the app. I think, if I'm not wrong, the app is called Travel Safe. I will leave that. I will leave the description below for you to find out which app that is that you need to install when you are going to finish your SHN and when you are out and about in Singapore. You need to have that particular app, because that is what we need to have when we are traveling around here in Singapore. Before we enter into a shopping mall or a grocery store or any other shop or a restaurant, before we enter, we actually need to have that app, because that app helps us to scan and update. I think that it's called Safe Entry. Yes, correct. It's called Safe Entry app. And that is one that you have to actually download and activate it. And then once you have downloaded that app, I think there's another thing that you need to know is that you also, when you're traveling to Singapore, it's just my suggestion, remember to do a printout of your vaccination certificate. I mean, it's just a safer way. I know there's a lot of ways where you can just leave it in your app for you to show it in your app. Places like Brunei, there is an app itself which is recognized here in Singapore. You can just show it in the app itself that you're vaccinated. But I would recommend for everybody, when you're traveling to Singapore, you should, just to be safe, print it out. Print out your vaccination certificate. When you're showing it to the immigration officer, they may ask you for that particular certificate, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you. I think the most important, another thing that I want to share is that when you're here in Singapore, the regulation to wear your mask is very, very important. I think it was very interesting that I saw recently a lot of individuals, especially those who are not staying in Singapore, not Singapore resident, they actually had a lot of challenges because they were not really following the rules here in Singapore, and then I think they found out that it was very strict because even for local residents, Singaporeans or PR and so on and so forth, long-term resident people, they are also following the rules very diligently. And I recommend when you go out, always carry a mask, because your mask must be properly done. I think what they say is that it should also cover your nose properly. So they're very strict. I think the best way is, for me, when I go out, I always have my mask with me, and I will always put my mask up on whenever I'm out and about. Right now, the rule is a bit different. When you go to dine in, it's still only 2 people. I mean, when I'm recording, the time of me recording this video at this moment, there's only 2 people that are allowed to sit together and eat. And that's basically some of the basic things that you need to know when you're already in Singapore, and when you're up and about enjoying your time here in Singapore. So yeah, but again, I know it may sound, there's so many things to take note of, there's so many things to worry about when you're traveling to Singapore, but trust me, I think slowly and gradually things started to get better. A lot of times people would ask me that, David, the cases in Singapore, they're really going a lot. They're 3,000, 4,000 cases. But I think what I want to share with you is that, but it's still quite okay here. It may seem that it's really bad, but actually, to be honest with you, it's not really that bad, because about 85% of the residents here in Singapore are fully vaccinated. So I think that's really good, and of course quite a lot of them have also started to get the booster shots. So it's quite safe to travel here in Singapore. I think I won't so much worry about that, as long as you're fully vaccinated, and then you do all the regular precautionary measures. Keep yourself sanitized and stuff. Then I think you should be fine. And then you are welcome to come and join us here in Singapore. It's a beautiful city. Things have started to open here in Singapore. A lot of restaurants, the shopping malls are all open, so you don't have to worry about anything at all. So I think that's about it. That's something that I wanted to share with you. But before I finish this video, I want to just share with you guys, please go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. There's a lot more information. Of course, I was not able to cover everything in this video, but if you have any question, please ask me in the comment section below. I will try my best to get you the answer if I don't have it with me. And again, please let me know if there's any other particular topic that you have in mind that you want me to talk about. I'll be more than happy to share that with you. So before I end this video, there's one particular website that I would really want to share with you that you must have, because the rules are changing every single day. So a lot of things that I've shared with you in this video may be outdated by the time I upload this video, but most importantly, follow this particular link, because in Singapore, in the ICA, the Immigration Checkpoint Authority, they've actually created a really wonderful website. It's called the safetravel.ica.gov.sg. I will leave that link of that website below in the description, so that you can go ahead and check out and find out if there are any new changes happening on a daily basis. It's the most up-to-date information that you can get about Singapore when and what you need when you're traveling to Singapore. So that's all, guys. I hope you like this video. If you have liked this video, please go ahead, like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget the notification button. So till then, thank you very much. This is David. Have a wonderful day ahead.